Family and friends, welcome back to what is now the 20th episode of Soul Talk with Coach AB. We have talked about quite a lot in the past 5 months, to which we have only scratched the surface in regards to self-improvement. Of course, this is from my perspective. But today I want to talk about a very important trait of human behavior, and that's having a trusting personality. To be trustworthy and trusting is one of humanity's greatest traits. It is also one of the most exploited. Trust is such a rare thing, like diamonds sitting on a curb. It almost can't wait to be squandered. Our perpetual existence is based on the promise of trust and the mechanics of its demise. Think about it. From God to pet, trust is the basis of unconditional love and a happy life. However, it is also the source of unspeakable atrocities and a miserable life. Who and what to trust is one of few questions we unintentionally ask ourselves every day. Hardwired into our survival instincts, most may say they trust no one and nothing. Given the lessons of life, that may be wise to the logic that is circumstance. However, how much happiness is there when we are unable to essentially love unconditionally? To answer this conundrum, one must understand that it is really about addressing your fears. The word trust is defined by accepted scholars in the firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. For example, when we use an elevator, we are trusting that the elevator is functioning to the ability that our worst fears won't be realized. However, we are all intelligent enough to know that it is only a matter of time before anything mechanical breaks down. Yes, with proper maintenance, we can avoid such eventuality, but that now requires trust to believe that those responsible would ensure that maintenance takes place professionally. And even then, materials fail. So what then? Do we remain paralyzed by the fear and never take an elevator? One can misstep and fall to their death on a staircase. Why not embrace the fact that death comes for us all, and that trusting that elevator, that car, the plane, that person is really a matter of letting go of that fear? In religion, we call it faith. Martin Luther King Jr. said it best in describing it. He said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase." We do it every time we get on a plane, in a train, in a car, or an elevator. There is so much we don't see, but our belief, even if the fear tries to convince us otherwise, allows us to make that decision. Take that initiative or that first step without thinking twice about it sometimes. It isn't any different when dealing with interpersonal relationships. The matter of trust is not about trusting another. It is about trusting yourself, loving yourself unconditionally, believing that nothing, no matter the outcome, can break you down or keep you from moving forward. Most importantly, knowing emotional eventuality will keep you from being you. Not every relationship succeeds, but that doesn't mean you can't. Sometimes, some can find within themselves the ability to overcome their fears. Others let their fears control them to the point where they sacrifice all that makes them happy. So Coach AB, what are you saying? That trust is about loving yourself unconditionally and letting go of your fears? Yes. From my perspective, it has to be. How else does one remain in control of their own lives? Other than trusting ourselves, we must have trust in our Creator that He has us in His infinite wisdom, a plan for our existence. In truly doing so, you trust your journey and the people and animals and things you come across in your life. However, it has to be unconditional. If not, you judge everything and everyone. And you will judge them regardless initially, but being able to let go of that judgment is crucial for the development of any relationship, including and most importantly, the relationship you have with God. If you fall in love for all the right reasons, for example, love, companionship, friendship, partnership, and you clearly communicate that expectation to the one you love, then in sickness and in health, wealth and poverty, good and bad, there will simply be no fears of infidelity and loneliness. The discussion then won't be about trust, but about how we can make the situation better together. The frame of mind should be about solving issues and problems, not creating them or adding to the already testing scenario. This mentality can only exist when you have trust in yourself and who you are and what you want out of life. To do this, you must love yourself first unconditionally, so that love can reciprocate your expectations and therefore your reality. These are the things no amount of money or material things can make right. This is why divorces and breakups of every nature, from friends to multi-billion-dollar corporations, are doomed from the beginning. The foundation has to be love, and even better if it's unconditional. That doesn't mean that doubt or lack of faith doesn't play a role. Even Jesus had his moments. However, those moments should be used as the motivation to ensure that we remain focused on what matters most. United we stand, and divided we fall. The proven fact of history. But Coach AB, if I am to be trusting in myself and my life's journey, doesn't that expose me to those that will take advantage of it? To that I say your answer is in your question. Why be exposed? The word should be experienced. If you truly trust yourself, love yourself unconditionally, there should be no vulnerability. Yes, easier said than actually done. However, this way of thinking is what is crucial in determining what affects you and how it affects you. You see, to give all you can in any relationship has to be simultaneously giving all you can to your happiness, your well-being, and most of all, your sanity. If your foundation is solid, there is a very slim chance you would find yourself in a situation you had no control of. To not fall victim to the sabotages of life, you must first not sabotage yourself. Be true to yourself, and the world will reflect that truth back to you. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, it is possible to be totally surprised. This is by allowing time and miscommunication, or like I like to say, missed opportunities to communicate, add up and become overwhelming. That is where we must be able to identify what distracts us from what we love the most and avoid it at all efforts. Family and friends, every relationship starts at zero trust, including the one you have with yourself. Like in any other relationship, it's about identifying strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons, to determine if any aligns with your personal values and unconditional love that you have with yourself. Once that is clear, and you make peace with your decisions from the inception, any hurt or pain caused by mistrust, infidelities, or deceit can totally be prepared for. None of it, as painful as it may be, would shock you into not trusting yourself again or even moving forward. Because then you would realize that you are not to blame for anyone's shortcomings, because you took the time to love yourself, trust yourself, and trust God. With that said, family and friends, don't fear trust. Not taking time to trust yourself, it can literally cost you a lifetime of pain. Stay tuned for my next episode, The Pessimistic Personality. Until then, as always, may you have a meaningful and purposeful week. God bless.